Hello, Reagan here. Welcome to part one of my Victorian Painted Lady dollhouse. It's not exactly a tutorial as far as assembling the dollhouse goes. I am more focused on getting work done on the inside than actually sharing the full build with you, because there's a lot of people out there that do very well explaining how to assemble this dollhouse, and I'm not one of those people. Plus, I'm very limited on space right now, and trying to get good camera angles and stuff to show exactly what I'm doing is impossible. So I did assemble the base on my sewing table, and then after I started to get the side walls together and stuff, I realized that it was one, too big, and two, too heavy. So I had to relocate it elsewhere so that I would be able to actually put it together. It goes together really easy. The instructions are pretty simple, and like here I'm just putting on the pieces for the bay windows, and then these the front pieces, like for where the doorways go, just have spacers that you just tape in place, and then you kind of glue everything else, and it works out. It works out nice. Really simple, like really simple, straightforward instructions for the majority of it. It's a little bit different when it gets into the more fiddly bits of like the trim and things like that, which I haven't done yet. I didn't do any painting ahead of time. I know that a lot of people, and even the manufacturer, suggests like priming and painting, some of the bigger areas and stuff before assembly, but I prefer not to. My idea with that is like I really haven't fully hatched out a color scheme, and a lot of it I just want to see it, like complete, and then go in and do it. So that's where my head went with that, was I'll wait. If I was building this for someone else, I would definitely say make sure to, prime it and prep it and do as much of that ahead of time, to make it easy for the next person or whatever. But not me. I like to do things the more difficult way, apparently. No, because of the way it's built, it's very open and large, so it shouldn't be too much of an issue to actually go in and paint everything once it's fully assembled. I mean, if you later on, you'll see a picture of it from the back where it's open. I mean, it's a big dollhouse. There's plenty of space to do all that work and not have any kind of problem. The outside siding is actually cut into the wood, which is really cool. I don't mind doing shingles, not a problem at all, but I was kind of sweating having to do the actual siding, but it is definitely built straight into the wood, so that's going to be nice and easy. Biggest downfall of this MDF is it's really hard to get glue or tape to stick to it. I didn't want to use something that was strong. I was going to leave a bunch of residue behind, so I was just using some painter's tape, and I was out of just regular stuff, so I had this, and it didn't stick very well at all, which was kind of obnoxious. It's okay though, it was only just temporary. Later on I dug out some gaff tape, which actually worked a little bit better and didn't leave any residue behind after it got done letting all the glue dry. So this is the actual bottom portion, like for the bottom floor, and you build the framework underneath it and then flip it all over and build up from there. And like I said, I was starting to establish at this point that no, I was not going to be able to assemble this entire dollhouse on my table. I did get the outside walls put on and the interior floors, and then I had to relocate it once I got to a certain point. It was just too big, too heavy. All the glue. I did find that the wood glue that I used held it really well. Just about any brand of standard wood glue would do pretty well. with this stuff. I know everybody has their preferred adhesive, and I like the wood glue because it doesn't shrink like PVA glue, and it does a pretty solid job. My second choice would have probably been some form of tacky glue, but this worked pretty well. I did manage to get glue absolutely everywhere. This stuff's really runny, and I was using my little spreader thingy to kind of like thin it out and spread it even so that it wouldn't have those big globs of glue in between the joints and stuff. And managed to drip glue absolutely everywhere. It was awful. I will be sharing some of the other projects and stuff that I have been working on. Just kind of mixed in along with the Dollhouse. I'll probably do like the Dollhouse uploads on Wednesdays, and then do some of the other content stuff on Fridays. Right now, I managed to misplace a bunch of files. I was paying for additional cloud storage or whatever, and I was trying to downsize some of that stuff this year. I'm trying to like get a rein on my budget because I'm a little out of control with money, just a little. And as I was going through, I backed everything up, and I had a lot of stuff backed up. A lot of it was just redundancies, just to make sure, in case a hard drive fails or something or whatever, I don't lose anything. But I deleted some cloud stored files that I know I have backed up somewhere, but I'm not sure where. So a bunch of my other things that I did, like my Volkswagen build and the Cuddy Sark I was working on and stuff like that, I just have to go find them. I have to go dig around and figure out what I did with the files. So yeah, look at this beast. It's so huge. It's really neat too, because there's a lot of like the pieces I'm using here to brace the side walls. The triangles are part of the eaves, and there we go. Like that's how it looks once you get the tower and everything done. And then I started working on the window frames. I am going to pre-paint these because I do have my color scheme picked out for some of the stuff on the exterior. And these can be a little fiddly to paint on the inside or whatever, so I figured it'd probably be a pretty good idea to paint the picture or the window frames. I did learn this cool trick in assembling this. It tells you in the assembly in the book and the instructions how to do this. You just put the frame together, and then you stick a rubber band on it, and it helps you make sure everything lines up correctly. And after putting the rubber band on there and making sure everything lined up correctly, I then went in, glued the corners, and replaced the rubber band to make sure that everything sat good and dried. And there was like 5 or 6 rubber bands included in the kit, and it was just enough to perfectly make it accessible to get that done and get those dried. Anyway, so that is week 1. I know it's a little bit of a shorter video, but I just wanted to get it out to you. And I will see you on Friday. I'm going to go and hit up some thrift stores or maybe IKEA and find a table that I can put this dollhouse on, so it's a little bit easier to work on. Please be sure to check out my links down below, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you enjoy watching this type of content, and I will see you on Friday. Thank you for stopping by. Bye.